Hi, I'm Tasneema Ratnayake from Narangwita Kanishta Vidyalaya. Before I start today's discussion with you, I would like you to go through two extracts I have picked for you from your anthology. Go through that and try to figure out from where I have picked them up for you. Were you able to guess the answers? Good. Yes, they are from your dramas. Why are they should be dialogues? Then why are they so short? And in the first one word appears again and again, and in the second one, no words at all. Right? That is the specialty of drama. Dramas are not to be read, they are to be performed on stage. The first extract is from the drama Bear by Anton Chekhov, and it is a pre-revolutionary Russian drama translated into English by Julius West. The second extract is from The Twilight of a Crane by Yuzuwa Junji Kinoshita, who happens to be a playwright of modern drama in post-war Japan. And it was translated into English by Takeshi Kureyashi. I told you before that dramas are to be performed, they are not to be read. But in your anthology, we've got to read the drama. So, before we read the drama, it's better for us to understand the elements of a drama: story, setting, dialogue, characters, and actions. A drama has to have a story. If there's a story, there should be a flow of the story. That is called the plot of a story. Okay? The plot has go through, you can see the 5 structural elements of the plot. There is an exposition, and then complication, and then climax, and then fall of action and resolution. Exposition is the introduction of the story. Introduction of the story and the characters to the audience. And complication is the development of that story. Climax is the pinnacle of the drama. Some change is going to happen. And then the fall of action. You are really excited when you come to the climax, and then you expect something drastic to happen. That happens at fall of action. And the resolution is the end of the drama. Either the drama ends happily or in a tragedy. According to the end of the drama, we decide whether that particular drama is a tragedy or a comedy. In your anthology, the 2 dramas happen to belong to these 2. The Twilight of a Crane is a tragedy, and The Bear is a comedy. Ends happily. First, let's discuss The Twilight of a Crane, an adaptation from a folk tale. The setting is in Japan, in a rural village near a lake. The season is winter. The opening line gives you what type of a community that drama is set in. A tumble-down hut in a field covered with snow implies a poor farming community. The characters and the characterization. There are 4 main characters, 3 males and 1 female. That female is Sue, who happens to dominate the drama. The other 3 are Yo-Yo, Sodo, and Unzu. Yo-Yo is the husband of Sue. Unzu and Sodo are 2 merchants from another village. Sue epitomizes innocence, honesty, and whatever good qualities that human beings are supposed to possess. Yo-Yo is portrayed as an innocent farmer, ignorant of a lot of things that happens around him. Sodo, in comparison to Yo-Yo, Sodo and Unzu are cunning. They know how to exploit people to get their way. And then, and also the men are portrayed as rough, crude characters. Sue represents all that is good. The plot of the drama. that is the most important in this drama. A woman who is a crane comes into the life of a man in gratitude and in love because he happened to have saved her life from death. They live a happy life until Sodo and Unzu come into their life. It transpires, before Sodo and Unzu come to their life, it transpires that Su, who happens to be a crane, originally a crane, has taken the form of a woman to be with Yo-Yo, her husband. She has, in gratitude, to show her love and her gratitude, has woven a beautiful cloth called Sembaori out of her feathers. She has gifted it to Yo-Yo for keepsake. But what he has done is he has sold the Sembaori to Unzu. Thus, Unzu brings Sodo again to talk shop. They somehow, the two merchants, convince Yo-Yo to sell more of Sembaori if he has. Well, Yo-Yo does not have any more Sembaoris. So what has he got to do? Yeah, he has to convince Su to view more. Su does not want to do it again because she has done more than she could. The two merchants are not to be deterred that easily. They force Yo-Yo, they push Yo-Yo. They somehow exploit Yo-Yo's greed for money and get Yo-Yo to push Su to view a new Sembaori. Su agrees and extracts a promise from her husband never to look at the room in which she views. He says, he promises, and they wait. But as I told you earlier, these men are crude, they are uncouth. They wanted to make sure how Su wove the cloth. So they peeped into the room. They saw a live crane weaving the cloth. And they started shouting. Yo-Yo too looks into the room and sees a crane. He is worried. He is troubled. He is sad because he does not see his Su in the room. He cries, runs away. Su comes out. She gets to know that her husband has looked at her. Her promise is broken. She's sad. She leaves. She leaves a broken crane, which is symbolized by a broken wing. And that is the plot of the story. Now, I want you to look at themes of Twilight of a Crane. Number 1, love. Number 2, money and greed. Number 3, no mutual understanding. That is, lack of mutual understanding between Yo-Yo and Su. Number 4, femininity versus male chauvinism. Number 5, innocence versus corruption. Number 6, nature versus human. Number 7, identity. That is the identity of Su, who happens to be a crane, not a woman. And now the question is, human beings' greed for money destroys the happiness and peace in their lives. Discuss how this is reflected in the drama Twilight of a Crane. I have highlighted the most important part of the question in 2 colors. Human beings' greed for money. The next part is destroys the happiness and peace in their lives. This is what you have got to address in answering the question. Look at the next slide. It gives you how to plan your answer. Human beings' greed for money. Who are the human beings? Well, Yo-Yo, Sodo and Unzu are the human beings. So it's their greed for money that destroys the peace in their life, particularly Yo-Yo's life. Sue portrays nature. Sue portrays nature. So it's naturally Sue should be different from Yo-Yo, Sodo, and Unzu. She's self-sufficient. She has sustenance. She's satisfied. There is satisfaction in her life, and she seeks something only when she needs it, just as nature would seek something only when it would need it. But in contrast, humans develop a need to hoard. It does not come naturally, but it is developed in them. It is taught to them. How does Yo-Yo hoard money? He has sold one Sembawari already, but has he used that money? No. He has all the money in bags. He had not used the money at least to build a new house for Sue, because both of them still live in that tumble down hut. And the second part of the answer is how happiness and peace is destroyed. Happiness destroyed means peace also is destroyed. Who destroyed that? Yo-Yo's happiness is destroyed by Sodo and Unzu. They are the ones who introduce Yo-Yo or who lure Yo-Yo to more money. How do they lure him? They ask him, when Yo-Yo is reluctant to ask Sue to make another cloth, they push him to convince Sue to make another cloth. How do they lure him towards money? Okay, you can, if you don't want the money, you can save the money to provide a good life for Sue. And then you can go to Kyoto and enjoy life in Kyoto. Wouldn't you want to go to Kyoto? The rural peasant that Yo-Yo is, he is lured by that. He wants to go to Kyoto. So he pushes Sue to make a new cloth. That is when Sue extracts the promise from Yo-Yo and goes into the loom and starts making her new cloth. And what happens ultimately? The Yo-Yo, who had been very innocent and loving and caring, turns out to be a very pushy, rude man. He insists that Sue makes a dress. Sue makes a Sembaori. Sue makes it. And Sue sees Yo-Yo peeping into the room. She comes out of the room with two Sembaoris, gives it to Yo-Yo and says, well, one is for you to sell and the other one is for you to keep when I am gone. Where is she going? She is going back to her own life, to her former life, that is crane life. Nature goes back to nature. So how is peace destroyed in these two simple people's life? Because, as you can read in this slide, number one, Yo-Yo has not had a real need for money. Example, he kept them in bags and lived in a hut without using the money to build a house. Number two, peace is destroyed as unnecessary need was created in Yo-Yo by Sodo and Unzu. 3. Yo-Yo is driven to be harsh to Sue, which disrupts the happiness in their life. Yo-Yo hurts Sue verbally and threatens to leave her. Sue cries in desperation. Thus, Yo-Yo's peace is destroyed with Sue flying away. Ultimately, what happens to Yo-Yo? He, who was taught to love material things, is left with two Sembaoris and no love in his life. The drama ends thus. You can put all these cues in your answer and expand the guidelines that I have given you and form a very good answer. Okay, let's move on. And I have to tell you again that this drama ends in a tragedy. Tragedy is, it mostly occurs due to a weakness in the main character. Who is the main character? Who is the main character? It was she who introduced the Sembaori into the life of Yo-Yo. It was her weakness, and gifting is not a weakness, but She did not know human thinking. That is the lack of understanding, mutual understanding between the two. She did not know human thinking. She did not know how human mind worked. She thought, Yo-Yo also thought in her line of thinking. That's why she gave it. And her end was brought upon by herself. Now, let's go to the next drama, The Bear by Anton Chekhov. I told you earlier that it has a happy ending. So, it falls into the category of comedy. And in fact, it is a farce that involves improbable or ridiculous situations and mix-ups. The setting is pre-revolutionary Russia. The people, landowning class. And the whole drama takes place in a drawing room. In the drawing room of the main female character, Popova. The characters and characterization, there are three characters, Smirnov, Popova and Luka. Smirnov happens to be a middle-aged landowner. Luka happens to be the footman of Popova, the main female character. Popova is a young little widow with dimples. And the characterization of them is Popova, a very emotional, determined woman, also who is very bold and courageous. Smirnov, very rude, ill-mannered, irritable, manipulative, and chauvinistic. Luka is very loyal to his mistress, and he is a practical man too. The plot of the drama is Popova, who has lost her husband some times back, that is exactly 7 months ago, is decided that she is never ever going to leave mourning. She is going to isolate herself inside her home between the four walls. Into her life comes a man all of a sudden, whom she does not want to receive. When at the beginning of the drama, because you are familiar with your drama, at the beginning of the drama, you find that Luka haranguing Popova. He insists that she should go out, enjoy herself. And he wants her to go to Riblo, to where there is a regiment, and to enjoy her life, dancing and partying. She refuses. She does not want to do it. Why she does not want to do it is because she wants to remain faithful to her dead husband. She does not even want to receive anybody at home. And then into this very sort of dull life comes Smirnov. He barges in. He does not come. He barges in. He pushes Luka aside and comes into the drawing room. And he shouts that he wants. At the beginning, of course, he does not shout. He requests for the money he had lent Popova's late husband. Popova agrees to give the money, but she says not on that particular day, because her steward is gone to town, and it will take him 2 days to come back. Until such time, she says that she can't pay attention to money matters. And another reason, the main reason, is that she is in mourning. This infuriates Smirnov, who is in need of the money at that particular moment, because he has to pay a mortgage, an interest on a mortgage. Popova says nothing can be done because her steward is out of town. Smirnov is angry, and he is very angry because of the reasons Popova gives, that she is still in mourning. Smirnov says, okay, you may be still in mourning, but you haven't forgotten to powder your face. So he is insulting her. So according to the society, that Russian society, women who are mourning should not powder their faces. Maybe that's what Smirnoff meant. And then they argue with each other. It goes beyond control, and Smirnoff forgets that Popova is a woman, and he challenges her to a duel. She, angry as Smirnoff and very bold, she accepts the duel. And how are they going to duel? With pistols. She goes to the room where her late husband kept his pistols, arms, and she brings two. And she gives one to Smirnoff and tells, okay, this is how we are going to fight, but you have to teach me how to shoot. Okay, Smirnoff agrees. And in the meanwhile, he thinks to himself, and he starts admiring the woman, the beauty of the woman, the boldness of the woman. And when she comes back with the pistols and requests him to teach her to shoot, he agrees. And what is he doing? He is teaching her to shoot so that she can kill him. Okay, that is humor in the drama. And while he was teaching how to hold the pistol and how to take aim and how to shoot, he truly loses himself. He loses himself to her, and he says, okay, I'm teaching you to shoot, but I'm not going to shoot you. Why? Because I don't want to. Why? Because I'm in love with you. Popova is angry. She does not want to fall in love with him. But he insists. And when she refuses, he takes her into his arms and hugs her so tightly she could not run away, and he declares his love. Popova, who happened to love strength of men, could not extricate herself from the embrace of Smirnoff, and ultimately, because he insists, she agrees to marry him. And when Luca comes with help, he finds the two fighters in embrace and kissing each other. That is the plot of the story. I want you to look at the next slide, which happens to give you the themes of the drama, The Bear. The first one, money. The effect of it on human behavior. Number 2, infidelity. Popova's late husband's relationships. Not Popova's nor Smirnoff's. It is Popova's husband's infidelity that the drama speaks. But still, Popova is resolved to remain faithful to her husband, late husband. Third one, emancipation of women. That is freedom of women. Freedom of women comes because in this drama it is about Popova, and it is Popova's boldness that earns her freedom. Number 4, inconsistency of human behavior. Who are inconsistent? It is Popova and Smirnoff. At the beginning, Popova was resolved never ever to leave her room, and Smirnoff hated women, hated even to look at them. But both of them, towards the end of the drama, fall for each other despite their hatred towards the opposite sex. And number 5, condition of women in Russian society. The condition of women in Russian society was to mourn the death of the husband non-stop until their death. Those are the themes of Bear. So you had better bear these facts in your mind when you compose your answer. And the techniques used in this drama are humor, metaphors, incongruity and contrast, and suspense. Now, the question is, the sudden and dramatic changes of the two main characters create humor in the drama, The Bear. Discuss with examples. I have underlined the first phrase, the sudden and dramatic changes of the two main characters create humor in the drama. Create humor, you feel like laughing at them. You are made to smile when you read the drama or watch the drama as audience. So let's go through the important cues so that it would make it easy for you to answer the question. Popova is resolved to remain single, mourning her dead husband. She even loves her dead husband's horse, Toby. She did not even want to see anyone. For an example, she says, "Tell him I do not receive anybody." And then she did not want to give money matters any thought because she wanted to concentrate upon mourning her dead husband. And the next one, so enraged, ultimately towards the end of the drama, she was so enraged, she accepts the duel. And she asks Smirnov to teach how to shoot. The last one, she relents when Smirnov embraces in a bear hug. The last 3 points create humor in the drama. And then when you look at this slide, you find how Smirnov creates humor. It also occurs towards the end, but you find when you read the drama that right from the beginning, Smirnov has been providing humor. His words, his acts, his anger, and everything about him is to do with humor. Okay, let's go through the lines. Smirnov, very firm and aggressive in demanding money. That is at the beginning. He slights women incessantly. And then he declares that he does not want at least to get closer to women, because he says at one point, "Even when I see them at a distance, I break in cold sweat." And the next one, he gives vent to his anger by breaking chairs in Popova's home. But ultimately, here, this is how that very angry man creates humor. This is how he creates humor. But ultimately, he kneels down asking for her hand. The last one, he who did not want even to be closer to women hugs her in a tight embrace and kisses her because he does not want to let go of her. So you can put all together all these cues and form a good answer. Okay, children, we have done 2 dramas and we have discussed 2 questions, one from Twilight of a Crane, the next one from the bear. I hope that you gathered enough knowledge and enough cues as to how to compose your answer. Pay attention to all the elements of drama. Pay attention to the themes of the drama and pay attention to the techniques of the 5 structural techniques of the plot. You should be able to compose a very good answer to any question that would be given to you on the 2 dramas. Good luck to you at your examination. Thank you.